What's up? What's up? What's up? This is Big Vern coming to you live from the App Stupid Studios. Act like you got some sense. Smash the like and subscribe button. We like it when you do that here. Also, if you're digging the content, please share the show. We've come up on our subscriber list just by giving you sports and letting you make the decision, but we always question where we get the stories from and also what are the questions that mass media isn't asking. So I think one story that got by everybody when people were caught up in the whole Michael Jordan, not Michael Jordan, but that's another weird story. The Bulls, Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, and Luke Longley are on some no bull tour where I think they dunk on Jordan every night. I think that's weak, but when you have the documentary out there, The Last Dance, and you facilitate that arena, you have to be prepared for whatever's coming back at you. So hopefully that those guys will squash it and move on in life because it's getting pretty ugly out there on these internet streets. But we want to talk about Britt Reid. And this is a story that's getting no press. And it should get some press because Britt Reid is the son of Andy Reid. And he's in the news again. And this isn't pretty. Now, this comes from Dan Wendell in Yahoo Sports. Britt Reid, he was a 35-year-old assistant for the Kansas City Chiefs, where his dad, Daddy Andy, was the head coach. Britt got drunk back in 2021 while he was working on the team facility. So right there, that's a no-no. It's one thing for you to go ahead and get drunk on your own time, but now you're getting drunk at the facility? It gets worse. He then attempted a half-hour commute home. Again, just a big no-no. You can't ever put yourself behind the wheel after you've been drinking. That's completely over the line. He also got sauced up at the facility. Again, drinking on the job. He should have been fired. If he was anybody else other than the coach's kid, he would have been canned. Wenzel continues. He didn't make it a mile before slamming his pickup truck, traveling 84 miles an hour, into two cars parked on the side of the interstate on the ramp. So not only was he drunk, he was drinking at the facility, he got in his pickup truck, he's speeding at 84 miles an hour, and he cruises on to the ramp to hit people not even on the road. One car was having trouble, and the other came to help. Britt Reid injured 6 people that day, including himself. 4 were initially hospitalized with serious conditions, including a 40-year-old girl. The 5th victim was then 5-year-old Ariel Young, who Reid sent into an 11-day coma and a lifetime of challenges. So you hurt a little girl with this boneheaded move. Not only did you endanger your life, you hurt the people around you, and then you injured a little girl. And SportsCenter won't cover this. Fox Sports won't cover this because they are preemed with access. That's how they get you to fall asleep behind the wheel and buy into their falsehoods and falsities of access. Oh, this is going to legitimize me because I can go talk to Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to talk to Patrick Mahomes. I don't care about Andy Reid. That's not being legitimate. That's being a sucker. Because you won't ask them, you won't ask Andy Reid, hey, look, your kid's been a classic screw up. Going back to you being in Philly. When is enough enough? Oh, it's tough love when you've got to tell a player you have no blood relationship to that he needs to get it in gear and he needs to gotta pull himself up by his bootstraps. But your dope smoking, drunk, alcoholic son can get in a car and hurt an 11-year-old little girl and throw her into a coma. He put this little girl into a coma for 11 days. 5 years old. 5 years old. Reid was eventually given 3 years of prison sentence and a plea deal from the maximum 7-year stint. So he got a sweetheart deal right there. And I don't recall anybody in the media, not Fox News Sports, not ESPN, not CBS Sportsline, I don't recall anybody saying that this guy should be doing 7 years in prison instead of a 3-year plea deal for almost killing a 5-year-old girl. Ariel's family, they fumed at that, but it only got worse. The governor of Missouri, Mike Parsons, he commuted Reid's sentence. Yep. After just 16 months served, Parsons has sentenced ducked the local media to explain his rationale. Yeah, because it didn't make sense that you all would make him face the music for a crime of his own negligence, injuring multiple people, and then putting a 5-year-old girl in an 11-day coma for a crime he should be doing 7 years. You gave him a plea deal for 3 years, but then you commuted his sentence after 16 months. Again, this is a two-tier justice system. Let's not play games. We know what we're here for. Not only that, Ariel's attorney, Tom Porto, he said the quiet part out loud. Now, he's from the Popham law firm. However, Porto goes to say he knows why Britt Reid is out early. It's because the governor of Missouri is a Chiefs fan. He went to the Super Bowl, he went to the after parties, went to the parade and the rally. And if that is true, that is awful. And I only say that it's speculation because I don't know. I don't have the receipts. I don't have anything that ties him to the Chiefs organization. But I am saying this: if anybody listening to this podcast right now was to drive drunk and put a 5-year-old girl in a coma and injure multiple people, you would be in jail serving the max. And not because your dad is the head coach of a football team that you happen to be a fan of. And the governor doesn't have to explain himself. This is crazy. The family reached a financial agreement last year with the Chiefs to help provide financial support for Ariel's recovery. Now, that's where I'm conflicted at when we talk about this piece and Dan Wendell. That's always been my gripe from that disposition. Because if you take the money, you can't have justice. It's an either or. Because if I took the money, I have to be okay with everything that comes attached to it. And I can't be high-minded and principled and be like, I want justice. So how do you define justice? Is it you paying and acknowledging you did something really wrong? Or did you make it go away? Give me some money and I'll go away. Again, these are all hard questions. They don't bear answers. But Britt Reid is a pretty awful person. Now, she's 8. She was 5 then. She's 8 now. Young still has balance issues, vision problems, and attends special needs classes. Ariel is dealing with the effects of her injuries to this day, and there is an understanding of lifelong deficits she is facing. Now, that's a statement from her lawyer. Well, she is still dealing with this from 2021, and this man only served 16 months of a 3-year sentence that was commuted with no explanation, not to the family, not to the public. Parsons didn't bother to call the family either. Why would he? Why would he bother to call the family and let them know that, hey, look, that guy's dad just won a Super Bowl. I'm releasing him from prison. We gave him a 3-year stint. He's only going to do 16 months, sentence commuted. Just chicken. What a bunch of chicken crap. He didn't bother to call the family. He didn't tell them, hey, look, this guy got out early. They heard it through the news. Imagine that. You got in from putting your daughter to sleep. She's had a hard physical day dealing with the fallout from Britt Reid and his menacing behavior. You put your kid to sleep and then you go turn on the news and relax and look. You're looking at TV with your wife and you see that guy just got out. Really? Oh my God. And then, like I said, it just doesn't get better for this guy. It started going downhill when we talked about this story. This dude, not only did he cause all of these problems, not only did he ruin this little girl's life, he didn't even admit that he was guilty of anything, and he never even offered the family an apology. Yep, he never did any of that. The only time he tried to act like he had a little bit of remorse was when he was standing in front of the judge 21 months after he almost killed everybody. So there it is. Britt is a menace. And he shouldn't be granted special privileges or sweetheart deals just because who his dad is. And again, I remind you, he previously served just 5 months of a 23-month sentence for brandishing a gun during a road rage incident in Pennsylvania. His dad was coach of the Eagles then. Britt Reid also had a prior DUI and drug possession charges. He's been doing this. He hasn't learned. He hasn't learned his lesson at all. If anything, Britt Reid has only felt emboldened because his dad is always bailing him out. People are trying to get on his dad's good side because his son is a classic mess up. He's a duck up. And when is enough enough? Andy Reid has been coaching in the NFL for well over a decade. And there are probably more crimes out there that Britt has committed. There are more drugs, more DUIs out there. This is just the stuff that's making it to the news. And these are the stories that they're burying. And nobody's ever going to say anything. Instead, this man is going to get to go on State Farm commercials and sit in a booth with Patrick Mahomes and try to steal nuggets. Sir, your son is out of control. And if you want to be responsible, you need to go ahead and distance yourself from this kid. I don't care how many rehabs you put him in. Sometimes that's tough love. Turning your back on your kid who can't get it together. Again, it's a horrible story. I hate to even come to those conclusions, but when you read this makes you angry. But I could be wrong. Let me know what you all think. We had to make up some time for some other shows that we're pushing out, but we're going to keep on rocking and rolling. This is Big Vern at App Stupid. We got one more story and we'll be back.